Welcome to IamWoke, Satnam Namaste. I'm your host, Emelina Calder. Today we're going to be going through a collective reading for the starseeds and lightworkers in humanity for the June 21st summer solstice and the new moon in Gemini. This is an Akashic Records reading and channel transmission. Enjoy. Greetings, dear ones. We're the Ascension Counts of Light, the Ascension of the Creators, coming to you now for June summer solstice event sequence upgrade to your ascension fields. There are many of us at this time that have come together collectively as a unit in cooperation to lift the collective frequencies of the planet through your own ability to raise your own personal frequency. As you raise your own personal frequency, you are raising the frequency on behalf of the entire collective, which is an extraordinary move, dear ones, for when you take care of yourself, you are taking care of all of those around you and spreading your good, spreading your highest frequencies through the embodiment of your own self-centered practice. Yes, we did say self-centered. Yes, we appreciate when you take care of yourself over taking care of others, because to take care of the self is to take care of others around you. No one should expect anything from you, for each unit of individuality within the human collective should be attending and caring for themselves, and as they care for themselves, they care for the whole, dear ones, bringing your attention again to self-centered practice. It is with this self-centered practice that we'd like to bring your attention into the specific frequencies within the heart, dear ones, that have been awakening through the past several months. You have been extraordinarily increasing your own capacity for self-care and self-love, as many of you have come into grounded, centered practice around. Many of you are encountering aspects of this through the grieving process, through deep inner sadness that you wish would bring relief. Many of you have not released fully in order to receive the relief, for you have been clinging on to many of the specific codes and frequencies of others, expectations and realities that others have set forth for you and to you, conditions on their love, conditions on their approval. And with these conditions, you are practicing your own frequency of alignment. And as you go through, as your heart has been upgraded and elevated, your heart can feel each individual relationship frequency and each emotional condition and agreement. Some are contracts, soul contracts. And you can feel that they are now in disagreement with you at your core, out of alignment for who you have released yourself to be and what you are meant to be now in your new state of awareness are different. It is this difference that we wish to bring your attention to, dear ones, for this difference is in your own practice, in your own self-appreciation, your own practice of self-gratitude, that you have come to awaken these higher activations and principles within yourself, where you are becoming an active state of awareness of good for the self in a self-centered practice. Again, we mention self-centered. We wish for you to practice the art of loving the self, of practicing conditions of loving the self, of rejecting all realities and all relationships and all threads of anyone and anything who has told you, whether seen or unseen, whether said or unsaid, that there are specific conditions in order to receive love from them on behalf of the universe, for it is not the truth. The truth will set you free, dear ones, and the truth is that Source loves unconditionally. There are no conditions. Humans would make you seem and think and feel that you would have to play like a monkey in a circus. In a certain sequence of events, you must act a certain way, you must be a certain way, you must grovel at their feet, you must apologize for things that have been spoken from your lips that were on behalf of your highest good and service. These are the conditions that you are each now releasing, dear ones. There's much grieving in this process, for you have assumed that that was love. The grieving is not actually for the people that you are now releasing, the relationships that are no longer of highest service. The grieving that you are feeling and why it is going so deep for many, many, many of you is the grieving of you having left your own alignment, of you having parted ways from source consciousness and given that power and activation to others with the conditions, and you were constantly in a method of seeking to meet those conditions in order to receive love, but that is not how love works. So the grieving that you are feeling is less about the people around you and among you, and is more that you are grieving the fact that you had provided yourself with the inherent lie that you must have conditions in order to receive bliss and love from the divine, in order to have your own inner self-centered acceptance and self-approval, that you had to leave the self in order to receive that which you are asking for. To be in the self is to be in a position of home, where you are home in your self-centered practice, where you are home in your body, where you are home in your heart, and where you are home, part and parcel in co-creation with God's source consciousness. Many of you have been taught to leave home, to leave yourself, to leave your heart in pursuit of what you want outside of yourself, looking for active validation, seeking approval in the external from those around you with highly conditional realities. It is not the truth, and that is where the grieving process comes from, is in the act of self-betrayal, in leaving home. That is the root of the grief that most of you have been moving through. Some of you will be engaging in the near future at this time. We wish to now bring your attention to what it is to give yourself your own self-centered approval, dear ones. There is but one method of self-approval, and it is restoring the balance within yourself, your own active alignment, restoring your own and stirring your own chi force energy in the Kundalini awakening that moves upwards from the base of the base chakra to the upward frequencies that are provided by moving up your spine to your crown, dear ones, to realize that you are your own awakening. You have everything you need. You need absolutely nothing from anyone. You are part and parcel in co-creation with source consciousness, and thereby must be provided for by source consciousness, regardless of the conditions and seeking approval that others around you would assume and project on you and ask you to meet their conditions for them to give you the things that you need. You never needed them, dear ones, for your awakening. Your power is in your creative state, where you are in flow with source consciousness, where you truly need nothing from anyone around you, for source is the original creator. Source is the original provider. And as you awaken in yourself with your own self-centered practice and self-approval, you must receive provision in the outward reality, in your external world. And it is not a conditional provision. Source will provide the correct actions. Through inspired action, source will provide the bumping into the right people, the synchronistic events and relationships that will be needed in order to give you provision, what it is you are asking for in external reality. There is no need to self-sacrifice or betray yourself or to leave your heart or to meet other people's conditions and approval in order to access and gain what it is that you need in your material world. That is the lie that you've been sold, that you need to lose yourself, leave yourself, meet other people's conditions in order to build your businesses, in order to build your families, in order to gain career status, in order to receive financial prosperity. You have been sold the lie that you must seek the conditions and approvals of the collective of humanity around you, of the hierarchy, of the false leadership and false leaders that have been positioned in front of you to siphon and steal your energy from you, hoping that you would never realize that they were doing so, and in doing so, that they must receive karmic reparation. There are repercussions to these moves. We did not ask you to come to Earth for you to be stolen from. We asked you to descend into this universal reality that you are creating so that you could learn to create alongside source consciousness, so that you could learn your own self-centered practice, so that you could go out into your reality as a divine co-creator and receive all that you're asking for, create all that you desire, and be the force of awakening that is your own act of self-approval. There are many different timelines and realities at this time that are crossing wires on your paths. The collective as a whole of humanity has yet to decide precisely which timelines it will align with as you are moving forward. The timelines are very shifting and changing. If you as a collective would like the better timelines, less chaos, more of a structured understanding of reality and more cooperation, although may not be perfect, for you're in a co-creative world with many humans that prefer to live in a larger degree of conflict and polarity, we would suggest that you begin to attune and center to the self. If every person on this planet attuned and took responsibility for their own self, for their own centered balance, for their own emotional, physical health, for their own spiritual health, there would be no conflict. We are not saying that there are timelines without such, for to be on Earth at this time is to agree to terms of polarity with universal law. But we are saying that many of you are looking for the easier path, the path of least resistance. You want things to be easier. You want to co-create in harmony. And in order to do so, in order for your lives to get better, to begin to elevate your own frequency and your status in this world, you must align first to the self. You must find balance in the self. You must find balance in your own personal alignment with your mentality, with your emotions, with your physical body. You must remove any idea of conflict within the self. The deep conflict within the heart must be released, and that deep conflict is the original conflict, which is the idea that you had to leave the self in order to create material gain, that you had to sacrifice your own connection to source frequency in order to go out into a world, to create a life, to create the financial health, to create the family, to create the job and the career in order to live. And too many of you have left yourselves for too long. The act of self-betrayal is now tearing you apart. It is not a pleasant experience, but we would like to bring your attention to what would be pleasant after you move through the grieving process of understanding that original root of self-betrayal is in being self-centered. It is in being your own pillar of wealth and support, your own pillar of self-providership alongside source, your own pillar of energetic and spiritual ascension practice, your own pillar of emotional health, your own pillar of realizing that you never needed to sacrifice any part of yourself to be liked, to be loved, to be in harmony, to be in co-creation with those around you. That moving forward, this is less about you meeting others, and it's everything about others meeting you. As you maintain your own balance, your own source frequency alignment, others that are also maintaining their balance and their frequency of alignment will come to you. You become a magnetic power, and everything that comes to you is guided by and matched by source. It will seem effortless, borderline miraculous. You will be wondering how it is that things are so easy from this place, because the difficulty that you've created is in the original sacrifice. It's in the difficulty of splitting yourself off from yourself, splitting yourself off from your own power, from your own knowing. So as you come back into your knowing, as you cultivate your own power, as you realize that you never needed to self-sacrifice. Everything that you need will come to you rather miraculously, rather effortlessly. The manifestations will be very easy. The people will just come in alignment with themselves, and you'll all realize that you're each in alignment with yourself, so there's no conflict to be had. There's no push-pull on the power dynamics. There's no one looking for anything from anyone to fill a void within themselves, for you will be attracting people that are in balance. There is no void to fill. There is only abundance at that point. As you are self-centered, as others around you get magnetized to you who are self-centered, who are taking care of themselves, you are all pouring from an overflowing cup. There is much frequency of abundance and prosperity and opulence and awareness and co-creative power where you all create together, where no one is drained in the dynamic. This is the world you are stepping into and awakening in. This is the message for the solstice. This is the message for the summer. This is the theme of the next several months, where you are each centering in your own power and then co-creating with others from the place of an overflowing cup, and expecting those people around you to also co-create from an overflowing cup of abundance. There should be no lack. If there is lack around you, you can simply turn away from it. If you go to fill that lack from your overflowing cup, you will be drained. You will be filling a black hole, a void that cannot be filled. It will be a constant tug and pull of war on your own energy. Do not give in to giving to others who have a void within themselves, dear ones. For if there is a void, it is a black hole that can never be filled. And as you fill them, they come to you for the filling instead of going to source. They must learn how to set their own frequency alongside source. They must learn to fill their own void with their own self-approval. It does no good for you to fill them with that love, for you to fill them with your energy, because then they will become reliant and dependent on you for the energy they should be seeking from source. And in doing so, in doing an action such as this, even though you would believe it to be benevolent, you would also be reinforcing to yourself that there are those in need, that you could be in need and in lack, and that you would need that support from others, that you could not get it nor provide it for yourself from source, which is another lie. It is another splitting off and fragmenting of your energy. Do not give to those who are in void. Tell them with your own example, with your own energy, that they can receive their own blessing from source. You don't need to actively tell them as much as you need to be the example within yourself, or your energy teaches other people's energies, that as you are self-filling, as you have an internal wellspring within you that is eternally flowing with a fountain of youth of source energy, they'll begin to see, those people around you will begin to see, oh, that person doesn't seek approval from others. They seem to have a constant flow of energy. And you're teaching those around you to go internally into themselves, to give themselves what they need, to give themselves the self-validation and self-approval, to give themselves the balance that is restored within the self, within the heart and the solar plexus, within the mind, and reaching into source consciousness, inviting source consciousness to fill them up rather than other people. It is at this time, dear ones, that we desire to give you a gift of self-approval. We are going to be giving each and every one of you at this time, should you decide to receive it, and if you would, just say, I receive, light codes that are going to be downloaded into your fields to give you the self-centered practice, to bring your attention and awareness as you are moving through your waking reality back to the self-centered, self-balanced, self-approving approach, so that you may maintain your centeredness and your balance alongside co-creating with source consciousness. At this time, we are now downloading these codes into your fields. We are going to be streaming some light language through Emelina. Just listen to the codes in the tonal qualities of her voice, and many of you will begin to see these codes downloading into your crown, and they will come into your spinal column, being baked into your spinal column to give you the strong spine that is needed to be the pillar of your own support in a collective energy of humanity that is constantly pushing and pulling on your energy, looking to tear you apart and move you into certain aspects outside of alignment with the self. We are bringing your alignment back to the self. Sit in an upright posture, straighten your spine. We are going to be working on the central nervous system. Take a nice deep breath in. Hold at the top and release and receive. Shikarinimi, Togayanaishi, Konakinai, Kodanai, Kodanai, Shakarini, Tapidini, Tapidini. Takadinaway, 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 Takadinaway. Abandagade, Takadamene, Takamene, Takamene, Takadini, Takamenia, Takadini, 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 Takadabidai, Takadidai, Takadini, Takadini, Takadidai, Takadini, Takadini. Takadini, 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 Takadini. Burakatijai, Kamatiji, Burakatijue, Akademia, Barakotine, Kapatini, Abatukane, Shane. Kapashikina Katashuni Yakadnuni Chatinai. As always, I hope you guys really enjoyed this channel transmission. I didn't expect them to send light code through. It's quite an adjustment for my body. I hope you really enjoyed this. If you did, remember to tap that like button below. If you love this video, please go ahead and share it with friends. And remember to tap the subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any energy updates. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments how this felt for you and if anything resonated with you. And then as a heads up as well, I have a brand new guided meditation and training that is free on the sacred rainbow flame of creation. It's a beautiful transmission that will help you increase your self-worth and your confidence and your protection and your ability to cultivate your own sacred inner flame and your Kundalini energy. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can watch the video for free. Until next time, have a beautiful solstice. Sending you guys so much love, and I'll see you in the next video.